Season 2.
3D Sportscast, and we got our 3D here. He's not behind the camera anymore.
Yeah, we're upgrading.
All 3Ds are finally in view.
Honestly, I don't know why we didn't include him last year.
Yeah. I keep saying it was 2.01D, and now it's officially 3D.
I'll tell you what,
3D.
as we keep doing this, we're going to keep improving. So this is year 2. It's still not probably going to be our best yet, but hey, you know what? We're starting out.
The best is yet to come.
It's only going to go up from here.
Yes,
this is already
indeed.
Improvement, just including the 3D. So anyway, I guess we get right to it.
On to the topic, we are going to be doing our playoff predictions. Just who makes it to the playoffs.
Yes.
And maybe NFC, AFC champs, and like maybe Super Bowl champs. Maybe
we'll see how long.
Not the whole bracket.
Well, because last year what we did is first of all we did this already after week 1.
Yeah.
And we took way too long talking about each and every game. Yep. We're gonna just stick to predictions here, and then every week we're gonna talk about
we'll see how
some bright spots of the week. But we're not gonna try to go as long and talk about every game as long as we did last year. And we're going to try to make it do maybe a little bit more editing, entertaining. We'll see how it goes. But again, we're still kind of new to this, but we're improving, and hopefully we keep on. It's only going to go up from here. So with that, I guess since you're on the end here, we can start with you.
Okay, so I think we start AFC North, work our way down, and then go to the NFC, and then do that. So
yeah, that's fine. Remember, there's 4 divisions in each conference, so each conference or each division has a winner, and then there's 3 wild cards in each conference.
Yep. So I guess, do I want to name all my conference winners first?
Yeah, you can name.
So I'll do AFC conference winners first. I think AFC North is going to the Ravens. They had the best record in the NFL last year.
Yep.
They were only 13-win team. I don't think the Bengals are going to be the one knocking on the door. I think the Browns will, but ultimately I do think the Ravens have the best team in that division. AFC East, he's going to be mad at me, but I really think the Jets are going to come out with it. I think
if Aaron Rodgers stays healthy.
Yeah, I think Aaron Rodgers, and then their defense is a powerhouse. I think last year you just really nobody cared because their offense was so bad that it really didn't matter how good their defense was. I think I'll get to that later, but I do think the Bills will make the playoffs. But I think the Jets are going to win that division. I think Rodgers is going to stay healthy, have a great year. AFC South, I'm going Texans. They had a fantastic year last year. Nobody else in that division even looked good. I don't think Trevor Lawrence is going to play out like everybody thinks he is. He hasn't really had a very good year since his.
Say, if you remember last year, they started out decent and then they completely
it just fell apart.
Choked.
I'm going Texans winning the AFC South, and then AFC West. I don't even know if that's even a question. It's going to be the Chiefs. Other than that, I think that's pretty much the division winners. I don't really. There's a few in there. I think the AFC North is probably the hardest one.
Yeah.
To really
top to bottom.
Yeah, it is.
A winner just because they're all decent teams.
Well,
I think we can all agree that Baltimore probably has the best roster.
Yeah.
In the AFC North, but they're all good teams. They all have a chance. There's a very clear path for each and every single one of those teams to win that division. But other than that, I think they're all pretty clear-cut winners. The AFC East is another one where the Patriots obviously aren't going to win.
If the Patriots were a decent team, that would be really
that would make a difference. But that's my predictions.
Yeah.
I think Ravens, Jets, Texans, Chiefs for the AFC Championship or AFC
division winners.
Winners.
So now I'm going to go with. I think I agree with you on the North. It's the Ravens. I agree with you too. It's a very tough division. I could see any of these teams winning. Honestly,
very defense heavy.
Yes, because the Browns, if you remember, with Joe Flacco last year, who thought that was going to happen when we did this last year? Their defense really carried them, but he played well enough to get him a wild card spot. They ended up losing to the Texans. But
same with the Steelers. The Steelers only had it even above the 500 record because their defense
and they made a wild card spot. Yeah. Bengals were the only team last year in this division that didn't make it, but Joe Burrow got hurt.
Yeah.
And so you just never know. I know last year we were talking about the health of Tua for the Dolphins and Lamar for the Ravens, and it was actually Joe Burrow was the big one that ended up getting hurt, as well as there was a couple other ones like Anthony Richardson, Justin Herbert, guys that got hurt. So that's another thing. Injuries obviously are going to change things.
If Lamar Jackson gets injured week 2, obviously I don't think the Ravens. I think they still will.
They honestly could still,
I just don't think they're going to win the division.
So, but I am going to go Ravens. So again, that's a tough, going to be close competitive division. AFC East, I'm going with my Bills. Obviously, I'm a Bills fan, so I'm a little biased, but I think despite everyone keeps talking about, oh, you guys lost a lot, which we did, but I think talent-wise we're about the same. I think it's just we got a lot of younger, inexperienced guys that people haven't necessarily heard about. Doesn't mean we're lacking in talent. It's just a lot less no-name guys that people haven't heard of.
Those big names.
Exactly,
big names.
like Diggs, Poyer, guys like that. But I think we'll still be good. Again, Jets and Dolphins will be, I think, very competitive there. Patriots are that team that's
I don't know. Patriots are going to
kind of unanimously at the bottom right now. But anyway, I'm picking my Bills. Then for the South, I think the South is going to be. Remember, the Colts actually without Anthony Richardson weren't bad last year. The Titans could have a better than people think. Jacksonville, I think, to have a decent year, but
the Titans is Will Levis, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so they both have rookie quarterbacks because Will Levis got hurt, or no, he just didn't really.
Well, he didn't start the beginning of the year, then came in and
he came in. He did pretty good.
And then Anthony Richardson wasn't rookie last year, got hurt. So a lot of young quarterbacks in that division. Yeah. With Stroud obviously in the with Houston, and he obviously had the best rookie year of a quarterback we've seen
in forever. I think probably since Andrew Luck.
So with that, I am going to pick the Texans, although I could actually see the Texans losing this. I think they're the favorite. Again, I just think top to bottom they are the most talented team.
They arguably have one of the most loaded offenses in the entire league.
Yeah, which is crazy because they went from just 2 years ago to being terrible to now we're talking about.
There's quite a few people picking them to go to the Super Bowl.
And then I think for the AFC West again, I think it's the Chiefs are clearly on top. As a Bills fan, I'm not a fan of the Chiefs obviously, but I just think you could see some other teams in that division maybe make a wild card spot, but there's a lot of unknowns in the rest of that division. Chiefs have been pretty solid throughout the last couple of years, and they're, I think, going into the season clearly on top of that division
most
again.
Most definitely, I would agree with that. The Chiefs have been on top of the entire league for like 5 years.
Yeah, unfortunately. But yeah, is what it is. So with that, you want to pick your 4 division winners?
Okay, so AFC North, I agree. It's going to be tight. All the teams are pretty good and could win, but I think I agree with the Ravens. Lamar's, I think, going to stay healthy hopefully this year. I mean, I picked him in fantasy, so let's hope. And so, yeah, I'm going to go with the Ravens there. Steelers, I don't know. Mike Tomlin, he's always had
we've talked about that before. We've talked about that.
It don't matter who he's got.
And the Bengals and Browns.
500 at least.
Yeah, they're all going to be good. But, yeah, I'm going Ravens. And then AFC East, also Bills fan, bias. But, also going to be tight with the Dolphins and Jets, like you said. Like, I would even go as far as to say that could be a 3 playoff team division.
Yeah, we could see 3. Yeah.
I don't know. Aaron Rodgers, Tua, they're all good quarterbacks.
If the Patriots weren't such a bad team, I would say the AFC East is the best division in football.
It's literally because the Patriots are so bad they bring that division down.
Because the thing is, the top 3 are definitely the best of the top 3.
I've seen those Bills, Dolphins, and Jets people picking all 3 that could win the Super Bowl.
But no one's picking the Patriots for anything, so you have to give the edge for best conference to the AFC North.
Or best division, yeah. But
So, okay, I'm still going Bills. And then AFC South, I think I'm going Houston too. I mean, CJ Stroud, and then they have a great receiving core too.
Yeah, really good receiving core. And they got Joe Mixon, that running back,
by the way. Because that's what they were lacking last year. They did not have a good run.
Well, who did they have? They had Singletary, and who was their other guy that they had? I can't remember.
Well, their run offense was bottom half of the league, and they added a top, probably
but they got Joe Mixon.
10
they added Diggs. And then again, they had Tank Dell, who got hurt.
Nico Collins.
They had Nico Collins, and Dalton Schultz at tight end.
And they kept their offensive coordinator. So this is now Stroud's second year, and he's more familiar with it. He doesn't have any getting used to it because now he's done it for a year. Right. So the Texans are a scary team this year,
and I could see like a team like the Titans or Colts or even Jaguars doing well, but I mean, Titans got rid of Henry.
There's a lot more question marks on those teams.
I don't know. Levis is still young.
I think they got Pollard from the Cowboys as now as their new running back.
Same with Richardson at the Colts. I mean,
Yep.
There's
just too much unknown.
And you can't say that about the Texans too. They're all inexperienced.
They're all based. Most of them are year 2 players.
But the Texans just did so good last year, and Stroud especially.
Just whatever they did,
I think they have the most
and they added more talent to that.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yep, and then the AFC West, I think it's obvious, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Kansas City,
Yeah.
all the other teams
Very unfortunate.
are not that great. So, yeah, that's it.
So I
You can,
feel
guess,
like
do
we're
your-
pretty.
Yeah,
Do your
Yeah.
wild card then, I guess, if you want.
Well, I feel like we should do NFC.
Well,
first,
you want
and
to do
then
that
we'll
way?
go back
Okay,
and
we can do
wild
that.
card
We can do
later.
that.
But,
Yep.
real quick, just to wrap up our AFC division, where there's almost a consensus. I feel like the only toss-up is the AFC East.
yeah.
And
Yeah,
I would,
that's
you
true.
know, and obviously I'm picking the Jets, but the Bills very well could win that division. It is a very
You
real
still, I think,
possibility.
have them as a
yeah,
playoff
that would-
team.
yeah,
So
when we get to that point,
Yeah.
definitely. But I mean, we all agreed on 3 out of 4.
yeah, we agreed on
Yeah.
3 out of
So
4.
I
So
feel like
And we're probably gonna
powerhouse
be-
teams are very
we're
obvious.
probably going to be completely wrong in at least
More
2
than
of them.
likely.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, I'm
that's-
sure, I'm sure the Patriots will win the Super Bowl.
Okay, yeah, I
obviously.
don't know about that one, but
Oh, okay.
yeah, let's go. And
Yeah.
speaking of the North, the NFC North is another
Another very good,
huge
yeah,
question mark in my mind. So I'm curious to see
Yeah,
what you pick.
so well, NFC North. Obviously, the Lions won that last year.
Yes.
They were definitely the best team in that division, but the Packers last year started the season off a little slow. They finished
they
great.
finished really
Jordan
strong.
Love looked phenomenal in the playoffs.
Remember, they almost beat the 49ers to play the Lions in
they
the NFC
did. They were
Championship.
very close.
And the 49ers obviously end up representing
Yeah.
the NFC in the Super Bowl, so
Yeah, and then we look at the Bears. You
they
know,
added a lot.
They added a lot. They
A
have
lot.
Caleb Williams, who's looking like a
They got
generational
Keenan
talent.
Allen. They drafted Rome Odunze. They still have
Mhm.
DJ Moore. They got DeAndre Swift at their back.
Yeah, they got them from. Ooh.
I mean, so
Well,
they
got Montez Sweat.
and they got Sweat last year.
from-
They
from
traded
us
on
on
defensively,
defense.
so they have got some guys.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
it'll be interesting.
The
Obviously,
Vikings really are the one where it's like, okay, they
Yeah.
are the biggest underdog in the
but they
division.
still
But
have.
they could still have that.
They're
potential.
still not
They
the
got-
Patriots, you know. They
They-
still
yeah.
have Justin
Yeah, they're
Jefferson.
Patriots, yeah.
They got. I mean, Sam
Mhm.
Darnold. He's not. A lot of people don't look at Sam Darnold as a great quarterback, but he's never been in this good of a
team.
situation.
No, he's played for a horrible
Jets
team
and the Panthers, and he was a
horrible
backup with the
Panthers team.
49ers last year. So
Yeah. But anyway,
Yeah.
to my prediction, I think the Lions are gonna
Yeah.
win the division again. The Lions had a great team last year. They didn't really lose anything. It's just every year they've gotten better. Last year, people knew they were good, but then they got in the playoffs and they were clutch.
and they still got a lot
looked
of
really good.
young guys on that team
They
too.
do, and I think in year 4, with
Campbell.
with Dan Campbell,
yeah.
I think everything's going to click even more. I'm looking at the Lions to be a 13-14 win team. I think they're
I
going to
wouldn't
be
be
one of the best in
surprised,
the
yeah.
league. Then we move to the NFC East. I think it's going to be. This is a toss-up. Obviously, I like the Commanders. I don't think they're going to win the division. I think they're a good sleeper pick. Like if you want to
For a
make
wild
some,
card, maybe,
make some
yeah.
gambling picks, Commanders wild card if Jaden Daniels really plays well. But I'm going to pick. I hate to do this because I absolutely hate the team, but I think the Cowboys are going to win. They've got a phenomenal team. They did lose quite a few players on defense. The Commanders actually took their defensive coordinator.
That's right, Dan Quinn.
That's a big blow. They lost a lot of defensive players.
Didn't they lose their top corner, Bland?
Yeah.
I think was that his name? He
I-
got hurt.
Yeah, I
don't know how long.
I
he's
don't
gonna be
remember
out,
what
but-
his name is, but they've definitely lost some
Yes.
pieces. But their offense is still a powerhouse. I mean they have a good offense across the board, and I think I like the Eagles as a close second, but the Eagles fell apart so hard last
Oh,
year.
really
I
bad.
think
Yeah.
they're going to
Yeah.
start the season off rough just because of that leaning
Yeah.
over their shoulders.
And then they open up against the Packers.
They do,
So
which is a tough team. So,
if they lose that, we could see.
yeah, you can see that punch of wow,
Yes.
maybe they weren't
Yes.
good, kind of come back to bite them in the butt. But I'm gonna
Yeah.
I'm gonna pick Cowboys for the winning of that one. NFC South, this could be a toss up. I'm leaning Falcons or Bucks, and I'm gonna go Falcons on this one just because I think with Kirk Cousins there now,
And they added a few pieces
they added
defensively
a few pieces
too.
defensively. They didn't look good, very good last year. I think Baker Mayfield looks really good. He just got
Yes.
his new contract
Yes.
for the Bucks. They've got Chris Godwin, who's been a great receiver.
Mike Evans.
Evans. I mean, they
Rashawn
have
White,
some
running back.
good
Yeah.
offense there, but I think the Falcons just barely edge them out, and I think Baker's going to do a very Baker Mayfield thing and probably not have a great season. So I'm going to pick Falcons there, and then NFC West. I feel like it's got to be 49ers.
Yeah, and there's some teams in there that I
Yeah.
could see,
I could see.
or Seahawks,
Yeah.
but
Mhm.
49ers are.
The 49ers
Yes,
is
yeah.
a very good team. It's just like the Chiefs and the other one. They've run the division for
Yeah.
quite a long time. I think the Cardinals did win it in like 2019?
They did win it
something?
1 year. They had one really good year.
It was when Kyler Murray was in MVP talks, and I think he got hurt or something.
Because they were starting that season like
yeah, because
7 or 8
they did great.
one or something like that, and then
but either way, I think it's the 49ers division to lose. I'm gonna pick them. So
yeah, I guess right with me now with the North. This is again a very competitive division, I think, and this is another division where I think we could see 3 playoff teams come out of it. But I agree with you. I'm gonna go with the Lions.
Yeah.
I mean, not to spoil anything, but I think they could be my Super Bowl pick for the NFC.
Yeah.
They're just.
I mean, they just look so.
They looked really good. And I know they folded in the NFC Championship, but with that young core that they have, they're gonna be. They got that experience now.
Yeah.
They're gonna be trying to come back and overcome.
They've been there. They got past that hurdle. So now it's. Can they continue to perform like that?
They're going to be motivated too because of that.
Inexperience last year is
the reason.
You could see it.
And now they're going to be motivated to get back. So
and not just with the players, but also the coach. Yes. You see him go for things they probably shouldn't have. Now, some people will say that's his style, and I do agree. I like the more aggressive play calling.
But there comes a point
where you're a little too aggressive. Yes. Maybe we shouldn't be going on it for it on fourth downs and things like that.
But I still think they're a great team. I picked them for the North. The East, I actually disagree with you. I think, even though I do think the Eagles definitely fell off last year, I think they have enough talent. They rebound, and I think they got the Saquon Barkley now.
I will say that is a big deal.
If he stays healthy, I think
if we're going strictly talent-wise, I will say the Eagles are the best.
But I understood why you picked the Cowboys completely.
The Eagles definitely have the most talent on their roster.
I think part of it is. Maybe I just don't like the Cowboys too, so don't want to pick them.
I hate the Cowboys. That probably hurt the most. Just saying that they're gonna.
But anyway, I do think I'm gonna actually go with the Eagles there. I think it's gonna be close. In the South, I agree with you. It's gonna be between Tampa Bay or Atlanta.
Well, it definitely gonna be the Panthers.
Yeah. But I'm gonna go with Atlanta as well. I think they just added enough that they're gonna get it done. I think. And again, it's. Predictions before week 1, it's hard to know, but
all we have to go off of is preseason,
and
even that, preseason and whatever happened last year, things like that. But preseason isn't exactly the biggest tell.
But Atlanta's one of those teams too that they have some guys, but we haven't seen it.
We haven't seen them together.
But I am gonna pick them. I just think hopefully those guys click and they'll win that division. And then I also agree with you with the West. I think it's the 49ers. So. I guess we'll end it there and go to you.
Okay, so NFC North, I agree with you two as well. It's toss-up really between Green Bay, Lions. I mean, even some Chicago.
If you're a Bears fan, you're probably picking the Bears.
I mean, they could be good. You don't know.
You never know. Well, again, it's one of those teams that there's a lot of good players, but we haven't seen them together yet. So
if Caleb Williams would not paint his nails, it would probably help him. He'd get better. Airflow on the throws, he'd probably be better, but it's okay.
But I would have to agree. I mean, the Lions, I think they're going to be even better than last year, probably. Like I said, a little bit of inexperience last year. I think they're going to get better this year. I mean, St. Brown, Gibbs, I mean, they have a good all-around offense.
Laporta, Montgomery is their other back.
I mean,
their
offense is stacked.
I mean, they have the Sam Laporta last year had the best rookie tight end season ever. Like not even close.
No.
Yeah.
It would have been a good wide receiver season. That's how good it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's a good blocker. Like he's just good at being a tight end. He's going to be the next, Gronkowski or Kelsey or whatever.
Yeah, so I agree. They could be easily a 13, 14 win team. So, got the Lions there. And then the East, I mean, also agree. Cowboys and Eagles. But I think I'll agree with Drew. I'll go with the Eagles there. Also, don't like the Cowboys. So.
Me neither.
But, I mean.
He did say that, though, too.
I know. And they easily could win, but...
I have more reason to hate them than you two.
Yeah. You do.
Well, I don't know. The Cowboys have beaten us in 2 Super Bowls. So.
Well, yeah. Well, so did we.
You beat us in 1.
Just 1, not 2. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, but I'm going with the Eagles. And then the South, also Atlanta, Tampa Bay. I'm going to go Tampa Bay, actually. Okay. I'm going to change it up. I think they're, in the overall veteran team. Like,
That's true.
Yeah,
they got more
they
experience
Chris Godwin,
together.
Mike Evans. I mean, they've been receivers.
And they actually surprised. They looked pretty
for
good in the
several
playoffs last
Well,
year.
they actually have most of that team is pretty similar to when Tom Brady won the Super Bowl. They have the Super Bowl experience.
Yes.
They all have rings. I
Yes.
mean, they've been there and won.
And
they
remember,
haven't just been there.
They beat the Eagles last
Yeah.
year in the wild card, and they competed with the Lions.
They did, yeah.
Pretty closely. So
even though I think the Falcons are going to be talented with their new additions, I mean, I think Tampa Bay's experience is going to
that's
help them win.
It's just so hard to pick Baker
It is.
Mayfield.
Yeah, I know.
Because
you
he
never
can,
know
he
how
can be
he's
either
gonna do.
really good or really bad.
He either looks like
So
he should.
inconsistent,
Yeah,
but-
it's like, dude.
You know, I'm going with them. And then, okay, the West. Yep, I agree. San Francisco. They're the most
They've
talented
been the
team.
kings in that division
Yeah.
for over.
You wanna talk about weapons,
Over 5 years.
Yeah.
I mean, Brock Purdy's
The Rams,
great.
Seahawks may
McCaffrey.
be decent,
They
but
re-signed Ayuk.
Ayuk,
Finally.
Samuel, Kittle.
Yeah.
yeah.
On their defense too. I mean, everybody.
Oh yeah,
It's
just
just
go on
scary
about that team.
seeing. Okay, but
Yep.
So that's it. I
there we
guess.
go.
That's
Again, we all mostly agree on everybody. I mean, even the ones where we disagreed, we all said they were. It
Yeah.
was going to be close.
The
We
only
know
difference
that.
was we both picked the Eagles, you picked the Cowboys in the
Mhm.
East,
And
and
then
then
I
we
picked
both
the
picked
Bucks.
the Falcons, and he picked the
Yeah.
Bucks in the
Yeah.
South. So
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll go through quick and pick our wild cards. There's not really much to talk about other than just picking them.
well,
because
we kind of already talked about most of
discussed
the teams.
them.
Yeah.
So we get three.
Yes,
per,
three in
per
each.
side. So
Yep.
so AFC. I'm gonna go. I think the Browns are gonna make it. I think that their defense is gonna carry them again. Is Deshaun Watson back?
He should be. Yes. Now,
Yeah.
can he play a
Can
full
he
season?
play a full season?
But
If
even
he-
without that, they can.
even
They've
without it,
proven
their
they can
defense is
still.
just so
Yeah.
good.
I mean, they're always in
So
close games.
They
and
always
always
are.
find a
I
way
know.
to win.
Nick-
somehow.
Nick Chubb was out last year.
Yeah,
He may
yeah. I
come
didn't think
back.
about that. If he's back, okay.
He
But
won't
anyway,
start the season.
No.
But
Browns for sure. They're my pick. I'm going Browns in the AFC North. I think that's the only team they have. I think the Steelers
Mhm.
missed the playoffs. I think the Bengals have a bunch of drama with all their 15 receivers and whatever's going on
Yeah.
with all of them. And they don't do very good. Joe Burrow's just been getting hurt a lot.
he's a
lately.
great quarterback when he's healthy, but he's not always
Since
healthy.
he had his Super Bowl run, he just really hasn't
Yeah.
been. He hasn't shown. I mean, he's been good. He's definitely been a good quarterback.
Not
I
consistent.
don't think he has been
Yeah.
a great quarterback
Yeah.
since the Super Bowl run. But the Steelers will still finish above 500 because they're Mike Tomlin's
They are.
coach. So I'm going to go Browns in the AFC North for one of them. I'm going Bills in the AFC East, and then I'm going to throw in. It's going to sound really weird. I think the Broncos in the AFC West. I think Bo.
I
Nix,
wouldn't be surprised.
I think
Yeah.
Bo Nix. He's played a million years in college. The Broncos last year, towards the end, they almost made it, and then there's just a bunch of drama with their quarterback and their
Yeah.
coach and everything.
Yeah.
It was just a mess. I think Cortland Sutton going to have a good receiver, a good quarterback with Bo Nix and him. I think they're going to come out and surprise everybody, and I'm picking them for my third wild card.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I think for me, I'm going to go. I think I am going to go Bengals as a wild card, just because I know I get
Yeah.
your reasons.
well, again,
I just
in AFC North, you could pick
Yeah.
any of those teams.
I just think that
I mean, heck, you could pick all three of the
Yeah,
teams.
yeah.
Honestly, I mean, you could do.
I
a
just really
four-team
think
playoff.
if Joe Burrow stays healthy, I think even though they have had some drama on their team, if they get that figured out and they start playing well, then that'll kind of maybe end. We'll see.
Yeah.
We don't know how it's going to play out, but I just think they got too much talent to let it go to waste as long as they stay healthy. And so I'm going to go Cincinnati. For the East, I'm actually going to go Dolphins.
Mhm.
I just think, again, they're another team that kind of
Yeah.
fell apart last year.
They did.
As a Bills fan, they had
Yeah.
the East and we kind of stole it from them. They
Gave
choked.
it up.
They choked.
They choked. They probably have the
And
most
so-
explosive offense
Yes.
in the league.
They're just
Not the best, but as far as big plays between Tua and
Tyreek Hill.
Tyreek Hill, I mean,
And even
it's
Jalen
just
Waddle,
insane.
too.
Jalen Waddle too. I mean,
Two good running backs in Mostert
Yeah.
and Achane. I just think they got a lot of speed and explosiveness, like you said.
the
I just think
fastest team for sure.
they're kind of the Cowboys of the AFC, though, where they can beat up on the bad
Bad
teams, but they
teams?
don't win the
Yeah.
big games against the good
Yeah.
teams. And so but I still pick them as a wild card team.
Mhm.
And then I actually think for my last wild card, I'm gonna go the Colts for a couple reasons. One, they almost made it to the wild
They
card
did.
last year and won their division with Gardner Minshew, if Anthony Richardson stays healthy, I think he's got a lot of potential. Now, he plays a little bit erratic at times, but if he stays healthy...
Isn't Minshew starting for
the Raiders now? Yes, he's actually starting for the Raiders now.
He got a starting job.
So, but I don't know. I think they got Jonathan Taylor, they got Michael Pittman, they got guys. It's just, again, can they... A lot of their issues have been since really Luck left as their quarterback.
Well, because it was so unexpected, so they didn't prepare for him to retire, so they didn't have a plan. And granted, that was 3 years ago now.
Maybe more. I don't know.
It was a while ago.
But I think was I still in high school? Something I don't know. It was something like that.
Either way, it was a while ago.
5.
It was very unexpected.
So anyway, I don't know. I see potential in Anthony Richardson if he stays healthy. I think they got the talent. Mm-hmm. I think they're going to be the last wild card team.
Anthony Richardson really showed some really nice flashes
in his first
when he
2
was
or 3 games before.
Yeah, before he got injured.
But that's my picks in the AFC. So.
Okay, so AFC East. I kind of said it a little bit earlier, but I said they could be a 3 playoff team.
You could go both
3
Dolphins
playoff
and
division, and I think I'm going to stick with that.
Okay.
I'm going to say Dolphins and Jets.
Patriots? No.
No. Sorry, but no. Yeah, I mean, I think that division is going to be really competitive, and so it's kind of a toss-up on who wins it, but I say Dolphins and Jets are going to be good enough to both make it, and then...
There you go.
Oh, third one.
It's kind of hard.
I know.
Like, there's a lot of really good
the
teams
North,
in the AFC.
any of them could be.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think the AFC North has had 2 playoff teams for like the past forever.
Well, last year they had 3, so yeah.
So I'm saying though, at least 2.
Yeah,
they're good.
I think I am going to go Steelers.
Wouldn't surprise me.
I don't know why.
They always find a way.
I know.
Russell Wilson.
It doesn't matter what roster they have. Mm-hmm. You think they're going to be awful. Somehow they're always
whatever
winning
deal
record
they have with the Devils paid off for them so far.
No, you're right. They're always there. I mean,
I don't know.
I seen something the other day. It was like Mike Tomlin is either the best worst coach or the worst best coach.
It's like crazy.
And I know Steelers fans are like, "Yay, we're always a winning team," but yet they don't. They expect to go far.
They
but,
did win a bunch of Super Bowls back when Big Ben
with
was
Big
there.
Ben. I mean, they were.
That wasn't that long ago.
They were at least in 3, right? And they won 2 of them, I believe, with Big Ben. So
that really was what 15 years ago.
Well, their first one was
more than that, wasn't it?
The first one was like when you were
like
pretty
20.
young.
It was like 20 years ago.
Yeah, but then they made it. Was it 2010, 2011?
Yeah, either way, I mean, that was more recent than most teams. I mean, the Commanders haven't won since like 1991. So.
Yeah. Well, and the Bills haven't made it to Super Bowl since the 90s.
You've never even won a Super Bowl.
And we've never won one, so yeah. Steelers are always good. So
yeah, I think their resume of having a winning season is going to stick.
Most definitely.
And I don't know.
Okay.
So, moving on to the NFC then. So, I'm going to pick, this is maybe a little controversial. I don't know how people feel about them yet, but my first pick is going to be in the NFC West. I'm going to go Cardinals.
Okay.
I think Kyler Murray being healthy, they drafted
Marvin Harrison
Jr. They have the weapons. They've shown they can do it before if everything clicks, and they, obviously they're down. Cliff Kingsbury's no longer there.
Yeah.
He's actually with my team now.
Yeah.
Which is cool. I'm okay with that. But they have more weapons. They have different weapons. I think if everybody can stay healthy and it clicks, I think they squeak into the playoffs. I don't think they're going to be the top wild card team, but I do think they're going to make the cut. And then I'm going to go NFC East. I think the Eagles are still making it. I don't think they're not going to make the playoffs. They're a very good team. They have a good roster. If they don't win, if the Cowboys do win, they're still going to make it. They're going to make it as the wild card team. And then I'm going NFC North. I'm thinking the Packers. They were really good last year. Jordan Love looks great. I think they're only going to continue to get better.
Yeah.
So that'd be my 3 picks. I do think there's a possibility that it's the Bucs instead of the Cardinals. The Bucs are a good team. They do have that experience. So I think it's a toss-up between those two. But I am going to say Cardinals just because I have a feeling that it's all going to click for them again. So.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go Packers as well. I think they showed what they can do. Another really young team that's up and coming. again, we picked the Lions in that division, but I think
Yeah.
the Packers are still going to make the playoffs as a wild card team, kind of similar to what happened last year.
Well, the Packers are funny because we call them a rookie team, but like most of their guys have been in the league for a while. They just didn't play.
Super, and they were
like,
just
they're
super
the
young.
oldest rookie team you could possibly have. Like,
so I'm gonna go Packers, and then I'm going to go Rams. Actually, I think if Matthew Stafford stays healthy, he's still got it. I know he's a little bit older, but he's a good quarterback. And then
very good.
with the wide receiver duo of Nakua and Kupp, if they stay healthy, I like the Rams. I think they'll find it. And I think Sean McVay's a great coach, too.
He is a very good coach.
And
well, for the longest time, before Goff went to the Lions, everybody thought that Goff was just a McVay product.
Yeah.
They thought he was only good because of him. Now, obviously, that's not true.
Yeah.
He's just a good quarterback.
But still, I think the Rams are going to squeak in. I'm actually going to go 2 wild card teams in the West, but I'm not going to go Cardinals. I'm actually going to go Seahawks. Because I think, again, Geno Smith is an underrated quarterback. They got a good running game with Kenneth Walker, and I forget their other guy, but is it Charbonnet is the other guy? That's a good I think it is.
I think it is.
And their 3 receivers, Metcalf, Lockett, and Smith and Jigba. So that offense,
been getting really good.
and I think he's going to have a really good year. So I think I'm going to go Seahawks this weekend in that final wild card spot. So I picked Packers, Rams, and Seahawks for my wild card.
So the Cowboys are missing the playoffs.
Yeah, I'm picking the Cowboys to miss,
Man,
and the Bears.
I'm liking your guys' picks more. I don't like the Cowboys.
They do have a lot of talent, but I just don't believe in them yet.
Yeah.
I would not be surprised at all if they make it, but maybe that's a little bit biased. I don't want to, but I think there's enough other good teams there that
most
So
okay, so I'm gonna agree in the North. Pick Green Bay. I think Jordan Love and their team is talented enough to make it. They're gonna have a good season. And I don't want to, but I do think the Cowboys are good enough to make it. I mean, Prescott.
As a Commanders fan, it just hurt me so much to pick them as the winner, and then you two both almost didn't even pick them to make the playoffs. So I'm like, oh jeez.
I mean, I think Prescott's good enough, and then the team is.
They just have a lot of weapons.
I know they're not really trustworthy. They
like
have crazy games where they do terrible and then they're great, but kind of like the Dolphins, like you said, they can beat up on the good teams.
Yeah, but they are probably still talented enough to make it.
But yeah, I think they're talented enough. And then you guys both picked the Falcons to win the South, so I think they're.
Oh yeah, it's true.
They're going to sneak in the South. So
I just think they've added so much talent.
Yeah,
they have.
If they don't, it was just a failed season.
Yeah,
they probably got to be one of the most different teams going into this season.
Yeah,
from last season.
I would agree
because they added a lot. So
Okay.
Packers, Cowboys, Falcons.
Well, I think.
So you want to just do maybe Super Bowl matchup, Super Bowl?
Well, we've been going for a little bit, so maybe we can go back to that at another video.
We could, yeah.
And then I think we can all agree really quick that the worst team in the league is probably going to continue to be the Panthers
or the Patriots.
Oh yeah, or the
Patriots. I don't know though. The Patriots at least have a good promising future. The Panthers suck.
Yeah, that's true.
Bryce Young is horrible. What a
Well, I think
bust.
Panthers worse than the NFC, Patriots worse than AFC.
Oh yeah, I don't even think that's a debate. 100%. They're going to be the worst 2 teams in the league.
So yeah, I think with that again, we kind of still ramble a little bit, but we're gonna try to keep the video shorter.
Yeah.
We're gonna, as the weeks go on, talk about some of the games, some highlights, and we'll do maybe some different things too. Again, Super Bowl picks to come. Maybe after week 1, maybe we'll pick an early MVP or something like that.
Do some season award predictions,
do some of that too.
Like that, so.
But for now, that's our playoff predictions. Maybe we can even take our playoffs and finish out the bracket kind of too if you want to.
Maybe we can resume like middle of the season.
Yeah, that's true. We can do that. That's midway point of the season.
Okay.
But I guess that ends the video. So we'll be back next week after week 1. Again, we're gonna try to
we'll do some recap.
Shorten up the videos, but we'll do a little bit of recap and we'll be back later on in the season. So
cool. We'll see you guys.
See ya
In the next one.